What's up? Oh, I messed it up. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is Tony Vinchelle with the Stronger You Fitness, ASU Fit, and the Becoming a Stronger You movement. Back for day 3 of some ASU Fit TV. I am about a minute early because I am still trying to test this thing. So, I'm still learning how to use it and all of this other kind of stuff. So I've got myself logged in another browser just to make sure that everything is working properly, because I had some messages that some people weren't able to log in, and so I'm just, let's see, some people weren't able to log in, and so okay, so there it is. So it works. So yeah, give me just one moment here. All right. Hold on. What do I have? Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to check some things. Again, I'm still learning how to use this whole thing. I just want to make sure that everything is together. So this is day 3 of my 67 days of ASU Fit TV. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. 67 days of ASU Fit TV, 67 days of content that I am going to be putting together and giving to you based on the questions that you have about fitness, health, and wellness. So the name of tonight's webinar, the name of tonight's video is called How to Put Together Your Own Workout Plan. Now, typically when I do how-to videos, I always start with some foundational concepts. So if you have pen and paper, please make sure that you are taking this down, because these are some of the things that you need to keep in mind. These are some of the items that you need to make sure that you have a good understanding of prior to even building your own workout plan. If you don't understand these foundational concepts, if you're not using these foundational principles, if you don't have this foundation of understanding, then you being able to create your own workout plan is basically just going to be a waste of time for you, because you're not going to stick to it. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you choose a realistic schedule. A lot of times we get started on this fitness, health, and wellness journey, and we are excited. We get workout clothes, we get new food, we get supplements. For those of you who are into supplements, we're reading books. We join all of these chat rooms on Facebook, and follow all of these different people on Instagram. And then we say something like, because I want to achieve my goal and I really, really want it really, really badly. I'm going to go out and I'm going to work out 6 days a week for an hour and a half. And I'm never going to miss a workout. And realistically, if you are not used to working out, if this is not something that you have been doing on a regular basis for at least a year or more, then starting out with 6 or 7 days a week, an hour at a time, an hour and 45 minutes at a time, may not be realistic for you. Not only because of your schedule and the things that you already have going on, but also because of the way that you recover. You may not be able to recover as quickly as you think that you're able to recover, and so you want to make sure that you keep that in mind. At the same time, as you're putting together your realistic schedule, you want to make sure that if you're going to work out on these certain days at these certain times, that you set an appointment with yourself. It needs to be just like you would set your hair appointment, just like you would set an appointment for an important meeting. It has to be that important to you, right? So if somebody calls you and it's not an emergency and they want to do something, or they want to talk, or they want to hang out, or they want to invite you to an event, then you literally have to look at your schedule and say, no, I have an appointment with myself to take care of my workouts at that particular time. That's how serious that you have to be. The other thing you need to make sure that you're willing to do is you need to make sure that you're willing to make a real commitment. So many times people go online and they find one workout plan and they do that workout plan for a week. And if they don't see the results that they thought they were going to see, then they're online or in the Facebook chat groups asking for a new workout plan. Everybody has seen the meme. Everybody has been told this. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it and not even expound upon it. It takes your body at least 12 weeks to even start to adjust, or the average person to even start to adjust to any changes in your diet as well as your exercise plan. So what I would say is that if you're going to construct your own workout plan, be sure that you're willing to commit to it for at least 6 weeks. If you're not going to be willing to commit to a plan for at least 6 weeks, then you don't even need to be considering writing a plan. You just need to go ahead and go online or take some classes, or follow some YouTube videos or something like that, because it's really going to be a waste of your time and you're not going to stick to it. All right. So I'm just going through my notes here. I'm sorry. I wrote really quickly. So here we go. You're going to have to determine how you want to measure your progress. Understand that there may be several other changes that happen with you physiologically before you start to see changes on the scale, and sometimes before you start to see changes on your body fat. Right? So here are some different ways that you can assess yourself. You can take pictures of yourself once a week and compare those pictures to each other. You can determine how your clothes are fitting. Do your clothes fit differently this week than they did last week? Do they fit differently this week than they fit 2 weeks ago? You might want to assess your body fat percentage. You may want to base this on your sleeping patterns. Are you sleeping better? Are you more focused? Are you able to concentrate? What about your strength and endurance? You may not see any changes on the scale, but when you first started working out, you couldn't lift a 10-pound weight, and now you're 3 weeks into your program and you're able to lift 15 and 20 pounds, and you're able to last the entire workout without having to take a 10 or 15-minute break. Those are some of the things that you need to consider, because those things mean progress as well. Also, your workout timing. If you started a workout plan and the first time you did that workout, it took you an hour and a half to do it, and now 3-4 weeks into it, you can now complete that same workout in 30 to 45 minutes. Again, these are progressions that are taking place. And as long as you see progress somewhere, then progress is happening. And all you have to do is continue to stick to your program, stick to your plan, stick to what it is that you are doing, and you will start to see those results eventually. Okay. How often do you want to measure your progress? And again, I'm giving you these foundational concepts because if you are going to embark upon writing your own workout plan, you need to make sure that you really have a plan. You need to make sure that you're not wasting your time. So again, all of these foundational concepts that I'm giving you right now are things that you need to understand and things that you need to buckle down on prior to even putting that pen to paper. Otherwise, again, you're going to be wasting your time. I know I keep saying that, but I just want to make sure that I reiterate that. So how often are you going to assess your progress? Typically what I do for my clients is we assess progress once every 2 weeks, sometimes once every 3 weeks. It just really kind of depends on what's going on with the program. If I'm working with ladies, if we run into moon time or their cycle time or something like that, we may push the assessment back another week. But you need to determine how you are going to assess yourself. Hopefully, prior to even considering writing out a workout program, you have already considered what your goals are. You've already written those down. So you need to make sure that you are assessing yourself along the way to make sure that you are seeing some kind of progress. Because if you're not seeing any kind of progress at all in any area, then it means that you probably need to change part or maybe even all of your plan. Where are you going to be working out? That has a lot, that's going to determine a lot of what you can and cannot put into your workout plan. Do you have a gym membership? Are you going to be working out at home? Do you have some equipment at home? Are you going to be doing body weight exercises, things of that nature? So you need to make sure that you outline that. How much time are you going to dedicate to your workout? Remember, your schedule has to be realistic. So if you can only realistically afford 30 minutes 3 times a week, then that is what you need to plan for. And you need to understand that this is a progression and that this is going to take consistency. But it also has to be something that you can integrate into your lifestyle. Because if you have to turn your entire lifestyle upside down to fit in your workouts, you're not going to stick to it. And you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. Okay. One thing to remember, no matter what kind of a workout program you write for yourself or you have written for you or you pull from the internet, if your nutrition is not on point, then you will seriously delay the type of results that you could receive from that program. So regardless of what we talk about today, I could give you 100 different workouts on a PDF document and say, do these, and in 12 weeks, you're going to have the body of your dreams. If your nutrition is not on point, then you will delay the results that you could see from that program. All right. The other thing you might want to outline is, what is your purpose? Make sure that you're clear on that. Are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to firm up what it is that you have? Are you looking to build muscle? Because all of these different programs are going to be different. Okay. Now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's start talking about a template. So here is the basic template that I recommend. Okay. I recommend a basic template that includes about 3 strength and resistance training days per week, plus 1 to 2 20-minute metabolic workouts. Okay. 1 to 2 metabolic circuits. Understand this. Cardio is a tool. I'm going to say this again. Cardio is a tool. Your plan should not be primarily based on the amount of cardio that you are going to do. So I actually prefer to start workout plans with as little traditional cardiovascular training as possible. Why? Well, because if you set up this plan where you say, I'm going to lift weights 4 days a week, and then, or I'm going to lift weights 3 days a week, and then I'm going to do 2 hours of cardio the other 3 days a week. What's going to happen when you plateau? Because you will. It happens to everybody. At some point, your body is going to buck the system. Right? Because your body doesn't really care about what you want to look like. Your body has a set of instructions that it has to follow, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the amount of body fat that you want to have. So what's going to happen when you plateau? If you're already doing 3 weight training days and then 3 days of 2 hours worth of cardio, what are you going to start doing now? 4 days worth of 2-hour cardio. And then when you plateau there, what are you going to start doing then? 4 days a week and 3 hours of cardio. And then what's going to happen is it's going to make your experience totally miserable. So again, understand that cardio training is a tool. It is a tool, and you should start your program with as little cardio training as possible, unless you are an athlete or unless you are in a situation where you are morbidly obese, you're really, really overweight, and it's really important that you start getting that weight down as quickly as possible. Okay? All right. So here's what you want to do. As part of your template, you want to make sure that you separate the working out of your 2 largest muscle groups, right? So your 2 largest muscle groups are going to be your legs, which is going to include your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your calf muscles, and your back. Those are the 2 largest muscle groups. And what I'm going to tell you is that if you are not accustomed to rigorous training on a consistent basis, then you do not want to work your 2 largest muscle groups back to back, right? So let's play a game. Let's say that we are setting this template up, and our weight training days are going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Then what you want to do is you say, okay, I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm going to do my metabolic circuit on Saturday. Okay, your metabolic circuit should be based on whatever your problem area is. Let me go ahead and say that again, and then I'm going to explain it. Your short metabolic circuit should be based on whatever your problem area is. So, or the area that you want to develop the most. So let's say that I want to develop my legs, right? This is the area that I want to develop the most. Then my program is going to look like this. Monday, I will do legs. Wednesday, I will do chest. Friday, I will do back. And then Saturday, my short metabolic circuit is going to be legs, right? Because at this point, I worked my legs for the first time on Monday, and now I've had the entire week for them to recover, for me to be able to go ahead and touch up on them for 20 minutes again on Saturday. All right. So again, 3 strength training days and 1 short metabolic circuit. And that metabolic circuit should be based on whatever you think the area is that you want to develop the most. So if you wanted to develop your back the most, and we're using the Monday, Wednesday, Friday template, then what you want to do is you say, okay, Monday, I'm going to work my back. Wednesday, I'm going to work my chest. Friday, I'm going to work my legs. And then Saturday for my short metabolic circuit, I'm going to do a short metabolic circuit on my back. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, just type those questions here into the chat box so that I can see them. But hopefully that makes sense. Now, understand that this is a basic template. So we're not breaking down, biceps, triceps, shoulders, this, that, and the third. Here's how you can do this. Understand that when you work your back, you're working your biceps as well. And when you work your chest, you're working your triceps as well. So if you're just starting out, it's not necessary for you to separate those muscle groups. So if you want to focus on the 3 main groups, you say, okay, I have my legs, which includes, again, quads, hamstrings, glutes, my chest, which is going to allow me to work my triceps as well. And then you can do your back and your shoulders. Okay, so again, legs, chest, back, and shoulders. Now, what about abs? You can work your abs with every single workout. So on leg day, work your abs. Chest day, work your abs. Back day, work your abs. When you do your short metabolic circuit, throw some ab work in there as well. Okay? Again, if you have any questions, make sure that you type those into the chat box. I'm just making sure that I am not missing anything here on my notes, because I know I'm ad-libbing a bit. Okay, so moving on. Oh, okay. I did all that. I did that. Hey, go for me. Okay. So how do we put together the plan? So now you have your template. Remember, your template is 3 strength and resistance training days and 1 metabolic circuit. Okay. Again, remember that cardio is a tool. So as you assess yourself, if you feel like you're not seeing results, or you're not seeing results as quickly as you want to see them, then you can start by adding some cardio training, some traditional cardio training at some point throughout the week. But again, remember, cardio is a tool, and it should not be used as the primary basis for how you build your workout. So we've got our template. Let's talk about the template. Now, this is going to be a basic general template, and you can adjust this based on whatever your goals are. All right. So there's 3 different methods that I'm going to go over with you today. The first method is going to help you build some endurance, as well as help you achieve your goals as well. That one, I'm going to call that method number 1. You can choose 3 to 4 exercises, doing 3 to 4 sets with about 8 to 12 reps per set, per exercise, and roughly about 10 to 15 minutes of ab work at the beginning or at the end. I'll give you a little tip. If you do if abs are really, really important to you, if you do your ab work at the beginning of your workout, then you will it increases the probability of you seeing better results. Why? Because typically the first muscle group that you work at the beginning of the workout is the muscle group that's going to respond the best to the training that day. All right. So method number 1, choose 3 to 4 exercises, 3 to 4 sets of each exercise, 8 to 12 reps. Throw your ab circuit at the end or at the beginning of that workout. Okay. The next method, method number 2, is going to help you build strength. And so this is where you are using heavier weights. You're doing 2 to 3 exercises. And because the weights are heavier, you're only doing about 4 to 6 reps per set. And because you're doing so few reps, you're going to do more sets, right? So the lower the number of reps, the higher the number of sets you're going to do. So you'd pick 2 to 3 exercises, about 4 to 6 reps each, and you would do 6 to 10 sets of those. Throw your ab circuit in somewhere at the beginning or at the end of that. Okay. Again, that's going to build strength. Okay. If you are looking to build power, this one is a little bit more detailed, but I'm just going to throw out some basic things that you can use. All right. You would use roughly about the same template as method number 2 for building strength. But what you would do is you would focus on using explosive movements. So what that means is that if you're doing a chest press, when you push the barbell off of the bar off of your chest, you're literally going to explode the bar off of your chest. Okay, so that's an example of an explosive movement. There's a whole lot more to power training than that, but again, this is just a basic template on how to put together a workout. Now, how should you choose which one to do? Here's this whole idea that this particular workout is good for cutting, and this particular workout is good for growing, and this particular workout is good for this. It's almost a non-issue, because at the end of the day, it's going to be your diet that determines whether or not you grow or shred. So the same program that people say is good for cutting or shredding can actually turn into a bulk program if you are eating too much. And that same program that somebody could say is good for bulking can actually lean you out if you're not eating enough. Okay, so remember, if you go back to the very beginning of this webinar, when I said that regardless of what kind of training you put together, your diet is going to ultimately determine what kinds of results you get, how quickly you get those results, okay, and what those results are actually going to look like. All right, so here's what I would say. Method number 1, the one with the 3 to 4 exercises and you're doing 8 to 12 steps, I would say use that one if you are a beginner, because the weights are a lot lighter. You have a lot more control, and you're still building into this whole thing of working out, whether it's going to be using weights or even with body weight resistance training. Okay. Method number 2, where you're choosing 3 to 4 exercise or 2 to 3 exercises, and you're doing 4 to 6 reps, and it's 6 to 10 steps. I would say use that method if you are working out at a gym, or if you actually have weights to use. And you also have to be very careful with that, because if you don't have a workout partner and you pick a weight that's too heavy, then you could injure yourself, and you probably will injure yourself. Now, if you are doing this with body weight exercises, then you could do the same thing with a system, a method called time under tension. And that's something that I can explain in another video, because there's that's a whole other training in and of itself, is time under tension training. It's called TUT. So if you want to go ahead and look that up, time under tension, you can look that up and get some basic ideas of how that would work if you're going to be doing that with body weight. Now, the very last method, I would reserve that for the power athlete. If you don't have a real reason to push a weight off of you that you can only rep 2 times, explosively, if you don't really have a reason to do that, you shouldn't do it, especially if you don't have a spotter. And especially with the chest press, I have seen this happen too many times where somebody goes in and they say, I'm going to do a 2-rep max, and they go, Kah! And then when they bring it back down and they try to explode for that second rep, boom, and they can't get the weight off of their chest. Okay, so yeah, if you're not a power athlete, that's probably not even something that you need to be considering. Now, the next question that you are probably asking me is, well, Tony, what exercises should I do? Let me go ahead and tell you something. Part of this becoming a stronger you movement is creating spaces and situations where people can learn to take full responsibility for their fitness, health, and wellness. So with that being said, I'm not going to sit here and say, do this, and this, and then do this, and this. Because the name of this webinar is how to create your workout plan, not let me give you a workout plan. So the idea is that you take this information, you write this information, you put it together in a template, and then you go on and you do some research on some exercises that you would like to try based on your situation, and what it is that you have to use. I mean, I'm not going to sit here on this webinar and give you exercises and basically give you a workout plan. My clients pay me good money to do that, so I'm not going to do that on the internet for free. Plus, some of you may be working with a gym membership. Some of you may be working out at home. Some of you may have maybe only using body weight. Some of you may have a home gym. And so with that being said, because there's so many different demographics of people who are going to be watching this information, it would be almost impossible for me to just sit here and say, well, if you're, if you're working out at a gym, do this. If you're working out at home with body weight, do this, and so on and so forth. Plus, everybody has different goals. I will say this, however. Whatever routine you design, it should include all of the big 7 exercises. What are the big 7? Squats, deadlifts, chest press or bench press, rows, pull-ups or chin-ups, military standing presses, and dips. Why should you include these the big 7 exercises in your workout? Number one, these are compound exercises. And so what that means is that they are working multiple muscle groups at one time. So you're getting a lot more bang for your buck, okay? Number two, by doing these, you can literally guarantee that you'll be working just about every major muscle group in your body. And honestly, I told you that I wasn't going to give you any exercises, but the fact of the matter is using different variations of the exercises in the big 7, you could literally create an entire workout plan based on all of those variations. There are so many variations of the squats, so many variations of the deadlifts, the chest press, different kinds of rows, different ways to do pull-ups. There's so many different variations of that you could literally construct your program using different variations of the big 7. So what I challenge you to do tonight or tomorrow or whatever point it is that you decide that you're going to sit down and write your program, I challenge you to choose one of those methods. I would prefer if you chose method number 1 because it's going to be the safest until you get a lot more used to using that kind of resistance. But ultimately you're going to do what it is that you can. All right. So I challenge you to figure out what days you can do this. Pick your 3 days for your strength training. Pick your 1 day for your metabolic circuit. Okay. And then choose your method, whether you're going to do the 3 to 4 sets with 3 to 4 exercises and 8 to 12 reps, or the 2 to 3 exercises with the 4 to 6 reps and 6 to 10 sets, because that's going to be a lot heavier. And I'm not even going to go into the power, because if you're watching this video, you're probably not even at the stage where you should be doing any type of power lifting, any type of power workouts anyway. So choose that. And then I challenge you to go through the big 7 exercises. Again, squats, deadlifts, chest press, rows, pull-ups or chin-ups, standing military presses, and dips. find different variations of those, and then you can use that to actually create your workout program on your template. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you got a lot of information that you were able to use. If you have any questions about this content, meet me on Twitter. My Twitter name is AStrongerU, AStrongeru. So @AStrongerU is my Twitter. If you meet me on Twitter and say, hey, Tony, at me, at @AStrongerU, hey, Tony, I had a question about this. I don't really understand this. Could you, elaborate on this, whatever. I am able to answer your questions a lot quicker on Twitter. I didn't used to like Twitter before, but now that I've just been kind of looking at it, I realize it's a quick way to get in contact with people, because it's a little bit harder for me to get to YouTube because sometimes I don't always see it. And it's a little bit harder sometimes for me to get to Facebook. So meet me on Twitter. You can ask me those questions on Twitter. And as always, if you enjoy this information, if you feel like it was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. That is it. That is all that I have for you tonight. Hopefully, again, this was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, meet me on Twitter @AStrongerU. Or if you're more comfortable with Facebook, you can go to Facebook @AStrongerU Fitness. So it's /AStrongerU, the letter U, Fitness. And meet me there. So I'm out, guys. Hopefully, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's on here, hopefully this was helpful. I'm out. That's all I got. So until I talk to you guys again, stay strong, stay beautiful, and always, always, always work towards becoming a stronger you. Peace out.